Well, hello. Stacy Rasky here with another of our amazing speakers in our Influential Impact speaker series. So if you haven't heard, we are having this amazing experiential, powerful, transformative workshop event in February 18th and 19th, right here in Tampa, Florida. So if you're in the middle of a snowstorm right now and you need to take a break, Florida's kind of a nice place to be, in February. If it's cold where you're at.
Escape.
Yes, escape for a few days and then make some awesome stuff happen in your life, your business, your leadership, your legacy, because that's what it's all about. But enough about that. Welcome, Wiley McArthur.
Hey.
Hey. Of course, I had to have the Mind Ninja work his magic. So before we get into what you're going to be doing at the Influential Impact event, share a bit about who you are and the ninja skills of what you do.
So let's see, where do you begin, right? So
Begin at the beginning.
I begin at the beginning, right? High school, wanted to be a motivational speaker. Unlike most people, want to be fireman and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to change people's lives because I went to some of those events and it just, they changed my life, and I wanted to be like that. Started following this guy named Tony Robbins, which very few have heard of, among some others, Jim Rohn and all of that, and got introduced to the world of neuro linguistics programming. So I finally, so after a lot of unsuccessful ventures in business, I finally found someone who trained that actually in my small town, which was incredible as it is, because having someone who trains NLP anywhere is kind of a big deal because it's still not that big of a modality yet. So I went down that journey, I wanted to be like the one I looked up to, the Tony Robbins, and went and got trained in neurolinguistics programming, hypnotherapy, just the way the mind works and how we program ourselves to do or not do things. It's kind of fun how it can be really easy when we're in our flow state, right? We start hitting those green lights and everything starts going. We stop thinking about things and how things are going to turn out. And they all turn out exactly the way we wanted them to, just not the way we expected them to. And it's just tapping into that universal source, that unconscious energy, to be able to work things through in a easy and effortless manner instead of self-sabotage. And well, I expected it to go this way, and it's like, well, the unconscious, well, it's easier this way, I'm going to take you this way. Well, I don't want to go that way. And we fight it, and that's when we get all of the hiccups and sabotage and all of that. When, if truth be told, if you set what you really wanted to do and actually trusted yourself to actually accomplish it, set those goals out there. Prime example is Elon Musk. He set a 100-year goal. He's going to colonize Mars. And that was impossible when he started, and now it's not looking so bad.
So true. So true. I love it. I love how, that's the magic of it, really, is right, activating the easy button, which, I always talk about the effortless success and the effortless flow, and you always have your easy button, so hopefully you'll have that with you.
I will make sure I have the easy button there, and I've been doing some more. It's like, do you woo woo? Because let's be honest, when you start trusting your unconscious, that's a lot of woo woo. It's not a tangible, I can see all of this. I've been reading a book recently that really stands out to me. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it taps into these concepts of when you have that desire, when you put forth all of that effort into absolutely success, burning all the other options, you find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Jurassic Park, life finds a way, right? And that's the whole point, is when you give your unconscious, which is keeping you alive, by the way, think about it. If you truly don't trust your unconscious mind, don't trust your gut, think about last night. Did you think about breathing? Did you think about your heart beating throughout the night? No. Did you wake up today? Oh, give your unconscious a high five. It kept you alive. And trust it to do what's best for you. And that's the whole thing, is we do the best we can with the resources we currently have. What if we gave ourselves more resources, gave ourselves more opportunities to access different things around us that we weren't even aware of? The unconscious is aware of all of that. And it'll give us the easiest path when we're in flow and we become our most influential self.
Well, it is amazing how easy it is for us to just put up those walls and just constantly engage in resisting things being that easy and that simple all the time.
Well, it's because we were trained that way. Think about it. Coming up, everyone, at least in my life, said you have to work hard for money. You have to put forth all the effort. You have to do all of this work. The question is, what do you believe? Because let me ask you a simple question. If you're in your purpose, when you're doing what you absolutely love to do, is it work?
Nope.
And if it's not work, how do you make it work so that you can fulfill that criteria? You have to self-sabotage. You have to do something that you don't want, and you have to create all of that excess of shit to stop you. And the minute you say, you know what, if I'm fulfilling my purpose and the value I provide out will come back to me exponentially, and it's just the value system, right? If I put value out into the world, the law of the harvest says I have to get value back. It's the way it works. So, and the problem is we say, well, if I'm going to put value out, I expect it this way. It's not the way the universe works. It comes the way it wants us to get the value. And the minute you let go of expectation of how to go, you say, this is my intention for the day, let go of all expectation of how it's going to happen. Watch the miracles just happen, because let's be honest, flow, it's amazing. When you have your best day ever, you didn't think about the next step, you just went with it. And that's what tapping into your unconscious power does.
So I know we could talk about this all day.
Forever.
What, right? And it'd be epic value the whole time. So I would love for you to share as a little teaser of what you will be talking about and the experience you'll be creating at the Impact event to help create that shift in real time.
So one of my favorite things to do is to notice what we see in other people. We've been trained to do the stranger danger and look for the negative in all around us and that perception. What if instead you could tap into the positive, the most powerful traits of those who are around you, even those who are imaginary, the superheroes? What if you could have Superman's confidence? What if you could have Doctor Strange's resourcefulness? What if you could have the person who you look up to, their happiness? See, the thing about it is when you see someone and you see a trait that they have that you absolutely aspire to, you have, had a guest, you have that inside of you. Even if it's at the smallest level, you have it inside of you, because if you didn't have it, you wouldn't recognize it. So one of the experiential things that I love to do is for you to step into that power. We're going to work on confidence. What if you could be the most confident person that you know and have their confidence installed inside of you? Would that be okay? And if it is, show up in Tampa so that you can receive that gift.
Yes. I absolutely love that. I mean, it's literally allowing the process to be so easy and simple to truly step into the highest versions of ourselves, truly that highest capacity for our success, leadership, impact, whatever it is that we're called to be, because we're activating that beautiful mirror effect. Because, yeah, like you said, we wouldn't be able to recognize any of those amazing things in anybody else if we didn't already possess it. And our inner knowing, our truth is there to guide us to that place. And you just literally are like, okay, step into it.
Yeah, step out,
And there you go.
imagine it, that person's traits inside of you because you noticed it, and let's do that. And it's a very step-by-step easy process. And the craziest part about it is recognizing that everything you see in someone else is really just your value, beliefs, and judgments. It's what the inner you is reflecting out. So one of my favorite things is I have a friend who lives in Vegas, and in Vegas, people are the friendliest ever. So every morning when he's driving to work, he waves at people on the freeway, and he usually gets the one finger salute back. And he checks himself instead of them. He checks himself and says, "What am I projecting out to get that response?" Does an inner correction until he finally gets a wave back. And that's the fun part about it is when you are centered and you are manifesting goodness and joy and happiness, those smiles, you're going to get smiles back. When you're projecting that joy, you're going to get the joy back. The fun thing is my happiness repels people who are negative. It's like magnets. It's like when someone is super happy and someone is super grumpy, they do not mesh. And that's the best thing is finding your family of choice, being around people who are like-minded. Coming to this event, you will be around people who believe the same things that you do, want the best just like you do, that will be inspiring just like you are inspiring, and each person's magnificence will rub off on each other to raise our levels. Like the saying goes, a rising tide raises all ships. And being in face-to-face physical contact is so much more powerful than this virtual world. I know they're building the metaverse, but nothing will ever replace a handshake and a hug. Ever. Ever. And being around like-minded people will change your perception, your perspective. You will get nuggets like you won't believe by showing up and just being in the moment and trusting your unconscious mind to allow you to take that information back and apply it to your life.
So true. And being able to be surrounded by such a variety of people who are still so like-minded. You know, those of us who like to work in emotion and energy and the physical body, as much as the speakers who will be there talking very strategic leadership. I mean, even we've got our former Navy SEAL who'll be talking some amazing mindset, just like you have your mindset. And all of this applies to leading our teams, leading our businesses, and leading our lives. And so there's going to be gold nuggets to take from a broad spectrum of examples who are still very deeply like-minded in this place of highest service and impact and conscious leadership.
And the greatest hype man who ever lived.
Right?
Just having a Danny guy is worth the trip.
Absolutely. Just coming. I mean, even even if you took no notes and just came for the energy, right?
Oh, it will be an infusion like you've never believed. It's just incredible having that kind of energy and being around those kind of people. It's contagious in such a good way. It's infectious. It changes you at the neurological level so that when you go back, you look at things differently. And when you start looking at things differently, you get different results. So if you're not getting everything that you want right now, show up so that you, and come with a plan, come with an intention of what you want to get out of it. Because if you come with a plan of, I want to change this in my life, there's going to be a speaker that will say something that will hit a chord that will give you that result. Most of us, we go to these events going, I'm here, give me everything, instead of being intentional of what do you want to get out of it. If you could choose one thing that would level up your life, put it to paper, and then watch the universe conspire to give you the information you need to get that level up.
So wise. So wise. I mean, we're going to get so much more out of the experience when we have the clarity of what we want to receive, plus being open to receive everything else that happens.
Well, everything else is going to show up, but it's like when you buy your first car, nobody has it until you drive it off the lot. Then the second you drive it off the lot, it's everywhere, and you're like, why the heck is it everywhere? And it's like, well, you hadn't given yourself permission to look for that. And then you drove that
activate
block, you gave yourself
the
permission, and then it's like, I activated my reticular activating system, and there it is. So
there it
come with
is.
a plan of what you want and watch that activate and start getting all those nuggets and all those relationships.
So you've had the opportunity to attend an influential event before. So what makes them different from all the other, events and retreats and workshops and things that you've been to in the past? I know that was the big feedback I got there. Like, this is so different from anything else I've attended.
Well, one of the biggest things was it was very intimate in the regards of there weren't a lot of people to the speaker ratio, and that's what we've got here. Is there a lot of content, so you're going to be able to have more individualized experiences where the speakers are going to be able to pinpoint certain things and might even be able to ask some questions. I don't know how many we're going to have there, but it's being able to connect at a deeper level, and everyone there is focused on the inner work of getting your mindset, getting your framework, your belief structure where you want to go. So it's one of those that's just really hits deep on the inner work. That's what influential is mainly about, is doing the inner work. The outer work will take care of itself. There's lots of those, but the inner work is where it all begins. And if you don't have the right foundation inside, you're not going to be able to put forth the action to get the results anyway. I know there's countless of binders that I have from conferences I went to that I haven't cracked open since because I didn't have the inner work ready to process the information. This one, we deep dive on how to activate that so that you can then start taking action on those notes and do the things that need to be done to get the result. Because at the end of the day, it's about the results.
Absolutely. Well, and even giving ourselves the time and the space to metabolize there and create results there. So there's a change by the time you leave. Mm-hmm. Not just a plan, but you've already done the work. You've already at least started doing the work in that event.
The momentum has started to shift. You've taken the first action steps. You've also had some downtime to be able to really process it and allow it to percolate and really get the result. And adding a little bit of fun to there, because we had a experience where it was just like, all right, let's just enjoy.
So much fun. So much fun. Well, and that's what it's about, the balance.
Well, that lines up with my core values, right? Fun, results, everybody wins, and excellence at all times. That makes us free.
Absolutely. So for anyone who's on the fence or you haven't gotten your tickets yet, be sure to head on over to vipstacy.com/impact. And Wiley, any final thoughts on why someone needs to absolutely get down there and join us in February in Tampa for this powerful event?
Well, I'm going to go the opposite route. If you're comfortable with your life and everything's going exactly the way it needs to go, stay home. If there's something that you would like to improve on, show up. Because there is so much value and so much, just the list of speakers that she's got here, I haven't seen it anywhere. I mean, it's just, there's the quality and caliber of the people that are going to be up there. You're going to get movement if you come with the open mind, with the plan of what you're going to do. You're going to get a result.
Absolutely. It is by far one of the most unique and high caliber lineups where it's not just big rah. This is legitimate people who are living and leading by example, who've done the work and are sharing their wisdom to help create that impact, leading that from that place of service and truly creating the impact they're each called to make in elevating all the leaders in the room. And that's a powerful place to be.
Just make sure you come with at least a little bit room in your cup. Me personally, I like to live in the Sergeant Schultz method where I know nothing, because there's always more to learn. Even if I have lots of information on a subject, there's always more to learn. There's always something new.
Absolutely. And it is. It's not just about strategies and tactics and all of that stuff, because we get that everywhere else. But this isn't about more stuff to do. This is about shifting who we are being as leaders to create the result, the impact we're called to make in 2022. And so if you've got some big lofty goals for 2022, this is that missing piece, for different from so many other events that you'll be a part of. Everyone can talk mindset, but not everybody's going to help you do the real work to shift body, mind, soul at the same time. We're going to do some magic together. So head on over to vipstacy.com/impact and grab your ticket. Thank you, as always, Wiley, for sharing your time, energy, and genius, as you always do. And stay tuned. We have a few more of these coming up. And in the meantime, grab your tickets. Have an amazing day.
Get it up.